Howdy, I'm the Chinese Zodiac Killer, asshole extraordinaire, and everyone's favorite write-in candidate for Commander-in-Chief. Today, let's talk about bringing back torture. There's been some debate as to whether or not torture works. Don't tell me it doesn't work. Torture works. Believe me, it works. Waterboarding is absolutely fine. But we should go much stronger than waterboarding. Waterboarding is fine, but it's not nearly tough enough. First, I want to point out again that I am not a supporter of Trump or Kamala Harris or any of these professional con artists and filthy rich businessmen and women who likely have never even washed their own dishes in their entire lives and have absolutely no point of reference as to what life is like as a common citizen struggling to make ends meet. So before you go and get your nightie in a knot over what I said about bringing back torture, I should point out that when I said, don't tell me it doesn't work, torture works, believe me, it works, waterboarding is absolutely fine, but we should go much stronger than waterboarding. Waterboarding is fine, but it's not nearly tough enough. Folks, that was a direct quote that I copied word from word, spoken roughly 8 years ago on a television interview by none other than Donald Trump. This is also the same candidate who seems to push for a stronger police presence in the country. If it is true that Trump advocates for stop and frisk tactics, which is unconstitutional, the combination of federally advocating the use of torture combined with the police given more power and the ability to just stop random people and search them seems like an even bigger step towards a police state where the government has absolute power over the people, which it has already overstepped by a long shot decades ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the police, who we clearly need to have in a functional society, but I don't really think a police state that feels empowered to act more aggressively is wise either. I would caution people to stop being influenced by good cop, bad cop tactics in the two-party political system and realize that voting for either of these filthy rich billionaires is probably a bad idea. Kamala Harris apparently has described herself in her past career as the top cop and the progressive prosecutor. Now, prosecutor is ironically an extremely similar word to persecutor, and basically the same thing. Persecutors are like charismatic sociopaths that somehow convince the public that they are heroic and good people. They are far from it. Point of fact, Kamala Harris has made a career out of persecuting and locking human beings in cages and breaking up families for money and her own political pursuits. Not someone I would trust to be in command of the country either. South Park said a very accurate statement when they said, we always either have to choose between a giant douche or a turd sandwich. And this election is no different. I've often said in my videos that you can write my name in. Jesse Bartlett, the Chinese Zodiac Killer. While people may think it is preposterous and unrealistic that I would say that, I don't personally see any other better option. I certainly don't want to be the president, which seems like an absolute pain in the nuts, and is a fancy word for head paper bitch. That being said, I also don't trust any of these professional con artists in business and politics, and I'm a firm believer that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Of course, the money that is thrown around in pursuit of endorsing both candidates completely obscures any real knowledge of my existence. That is why I could only theoretically even be a possibility for the presidency if my material went viral. That's why it's so crucial that you like, follow, and share my material and spread my information virus as prolifically as possible. This is also why I heroically sacrificed my character and my freedom to get mass media attention by mailing out chapters of my book series, The Procession of the Equinox, which the feds appeared to have covered up and instead defamed and incarcerated me. Imagine what a kick in the nuts it would be to both parties and all their financial backers if a person could get elected by write-in simply by going viral without ever spending a penny to do so. That in itself would be history in the making and a clear statement from the people that we're sick and tired of this con job that is the two-party system. Assuming, of course, that your votes actually even count and the system isn't rigged or broken. Check out my past video discussing that. Nonetheless, I'm just offering myself as a possibility should people suddenly realize that voting for either a filthy rich billionaire businessman who advocates a stronger police state and the use of upgraded torture, or a billionaire sociopath who built her career in locking human beings in cages and breaking up families for money and her own political pursuits, might be a terrible idea. Either way. Lastly, I want to point out that I have meditated on solutions to problems in society, which I will discuss as time goes on, such as solving the humanitarian crisis at the southern border, criminal reform, pollution, gun violence, crime, restoration of the First and Second Amendments, safer schools and public places, corruption in Congress, the economy, and much more. I personally would promise to make public all knowledge possible on all information on UFOs and extraterrestrial interaction with humanity. How cool would that be? Like, follow, and share. Tell everyone you know about Jesse Bartlett, the Chinese Zodiac Killer, frontman of the international touring metal band Penetration, which you can find on YouTube if you search our song, Metalheads Forever. I'm also the author of the critically acclaimed novel, Necronomicon MMXX, which you can find on Amazon Books, authored under my pen name, A. Crowley, which is a collection of my documented experiences, exploring the secrets of reality and my interactions with non-human entities, combined with horror for your pleasure. Check out my other videos, and don't touch that dial. Join us.